Hey, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. Today's video is an autumn-winter 2018 fashion trends guide, where I'll not only be giving you a little overview of how the trends appeared on the runways, but I've also scoured the internet to put together a huge shopping guide of all of the coolest pieces that are available to buy right now, all of which I genuinely actually wear in real life. I found so many amazing pieces that I can't wait to get hold of myself, the bulk of which are high street, you'll be pleased to hear, and I can't wait to share them with you all. Hopefully this video will give you a little bit of inspiration for the new season and you'll find a few bits that tickle your fancy. If you do, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I come from a background in fashion magazines, so naturally I'm making fashion videos on this channel. So if you enjoy today's, remember to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any. Oh, and please excuse my voice, my throat is shot to bits at the moment, but I'm a power through. We've got tons to get through today, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so first up I'm going to give you a little lowdown on the key influences. The first of these is Western vibes. Now this falls into two different camps, the first of these being prairie dresses. So prairie dresses are long dresses that have high cut necklines that typically have a lot of ruffled details. They often have nipped in waists that go down to that full skirt, they have long loose cuffed sleeves, and they also often come in a variety of vintage style prints. There's a brand that may not be on your radar just yet called Bathsheba, who's built a cult following of making this style of dress amongst other vintage styles, so she's absolutely been nailing it this season and is definitely worth having on your radar if prairie style dresses are your thing. But prairie styles were popular across the board and a ton of huge names too. For me personally, prior to this season, a prairie style dress was not something I'd have ever really considered, but having a look into it a little bit more, I think it's something that could be really cool if it's styled the right way. I personally try it out with chunky trainers, chunky knits, anything to sort of toughen it up and make it look a little more current. So if you like the look of prairie style dresses, I found several options for you. If you have the budget for it, it's definitely worth checking out Bathsheba's dresses. But whilst they are pretty pricey compared to high street, as far as designers go, they're not ludicrously expensive. I think they're around like the £300 mark. If you're looking for a high street piece, I found a couple of great options which I'll link down below. Everything in this video I talk about will be linked in the order in which they're shown, so it should be easy for you to find them if you'd like to. Urban Outfitters have a really great example. This one from Vera Moda is really cute as well, and there's also one from Boohoo which is only £13 at the moment, so if you're a bit unsure about it but want to give it a go, that one would be a really great shout. So moving on from the prairie style dresses, we have the second camp in the Western vibes, which is your more obvious cowboy, cowgirl kind of vibe. Think slim cut, boxy style jackets in leathers and suedes. Coach absolutely nailed it in the Western style jacket department, and I also really loved Calvin Klein's futuristic take on it too. Continuing the cowboy, cowgirl theme, there was tons of fringing, and the cowboy boot definitely came out the shoe of the season. For me personally, I find this side of the Western trend far easier to wear in real life than I would prairie dresses, but I'm a complete sucker for a boxy style jacket, so I'm probably slightly biased here. I found tons of really cool Western inspired pieces on the high street. This one from Lab Leather is made from real leather and has some really cool fringing on the back. Sticking with the natural materials, H&M has a couple of really great options. There's this black cropped boxy jacket with the Western style collar, and there's also this yellow fringed one too. These are both made from real suede and they're part of H&M's premium line, which is definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. This line uses lots of natural materials like leathers, suedes, silks and cashmeres. Ordinarily these kind of materials are pretty pricey as they are premium materials, but I found that H&M's offering is actually pretty reasonable for what you get, so definitely worth having a look into. I'll pop a link down to that below. If you like the look of a Western style jacket but fancy more of a high street option, this guide did have a couple of really great options. The cowboy boot definitely came out the shoe of the season. Chloe absolutely smashed it, I love their version, but obviously there are tons available on the high street too. These two are a couple of my favourites. I also really like them in white. I think that's a really cool take on it too. And these two are from Nasty Gal and Misguided, so they're super affordable. And these ones from ASOS are perfect for a super subtle take on the trend. So next up we have trend number 2, which is 80s excess. 80s excess was one of the most prominent themes this season. Shoulder pads were huge last fall and they're still going strong this season, being supersized at places like Marc Jacobs. They're not resigned to just outerwear this season though. Plenty of designers were giving their party wear the 80s treatment too. We saw them at Balenciaga and Saint Laurent, and Alexander McQueen and Gucci went absolutely all out. Elsewhere, oversized 80s silhouettes were seen on jackets with those huge sleeves that are typically an 80s kind of style. There were tons of 80s style statement earrings, which is my favourite way to wear the trend, and also there was even an appearance of acid wash courtesy of Miu Miu. I'm personally a huge fan of 80s excess anyway. I have tons of vintage pieces in my wardrobe that I've been wearing for years, so I'm absolutely living for the fact this trend is back because it means there's going to be tons of cool pieces on the high street. This blazer from Weekday is the perfect gateway into 80s excess details if it's something you're a little unsure about. It's in a neutral, super wearable tone. It has those shoulder pads, but they're not too broad, so they're not too OTT or in your face. Plus, it's a blazer, so it'll go with everything you already have in your wardrobe. In the party wear department, there are tons of cool options on the high street already. I'm particularly loving Nasty Gal's belted tuxedo dress with those super bold shoulders. It just screams 80s to me. It comes in tons of super 80s colours as well. You've got that sort of emerald green, hot pink, and then it also comes in a white if you like something a little more neutral. If a full-blown dress is not your thing, I found a couple of cool tops which really nail their 80s excess vibe. If those are still a little too out there for you though, this white blouse is a great shout. Although it doesn't specifically have shoulder pads, the ruffle detailing on the neckline goes up to give that kind of 80s silhouette, which is a great way to dip your toe into the water. And if acid wash denim is your kind of thing, this pair from Topshop Boutique were the coolest ones I could find. Moving on from the clothes though, I found tons of absolutely amazing 80s style earrings. I'm an absolutely huge fan of 80s style earrings myself. I have a couple of pairs of vintage ones which I wear to death. I wear them all the time, have done for years. So I'm absolutely buzzing that there are tons of super cool pieces on the high street right now. I've added so many into my wish list. So I've got a little bit carried away with this section of the video because I was kind of looking for myself. I found tons of super cool, super affordable options from ASOS, Mango, Missguided, Nasty Gal, and so many other places. I could talk about 80s style earrings until the cows come home. I love the 80s era anyway, but for me the earrings are just the easiest way to inject a little bit of that 80s glam into your outfit. Okay, now moving on to the colours of the season. First up we have the colour red. Now this was huge last fall, but it's still really big again this season. As is a recurring theme this season, styling wise we've seen a lot of head to toe looks. I personally loved Adam Selman's take on the trend, which kills two trends with one stone, which we'll get to a little later, and I also really love this trench from Cavalli. So my top red designer pick this season would be this jumper from Loewe. I think it's a super cool piece that can be dressed up or down really easily and a great way to inject a little bit of red into your wardrobe. Obviously Loewe is pretty pricey, but another great way to inject a little bit of a cool statement logo edge into your outfit would be via sportswear t-shirts. This one from Tommy Hilfiger is a great shout, as is this one from Fila. Honestly, you could never go wrong with a cool t-shirt from brands that you love, and they're two brands that I love, so those are the ones I would pick. I'm also a huge fan of red on jackets in particular. I find that's a really easy way to work them into your wardrobe. I love this crop jacket from Urban Outfitters' sort of own like sportswear brand, It's France, I think that's how you say it. I actually have it in cream, but I'm thinking about getting it in red as well. Honestly, I love that boxy cropped fit. I find it super flattering when paired with high-waisted jeans. Sort of gives that illusion of making your legs look longer, all that jazz. So I love that one. I'm also obsessed with this cropped fleece from Monkey. I actually already have it. I love the two-tone red on the arms. It's super cropped as well. So again, it's going to look really great with all of the high-waisted denim in my wardrobe. I can't wait to get some wear out of that this autumn. I'm also really feeling fleeces at the moment. Honestly, I don't know what it is. For me, I find that they're almost so disgusting that they're cool. You know what I mean? This Topshop sweatshirt is also another really great option. I'm a sucker for ring pull zippers, so of course I was going to love that one. And also this coat from Missguided is another great shout. I just wish it was a little more cropped than it is, but that may work for you. Failing that, I'll always champion a red puffer. I have one from Bershka that I've had for like 2 or 3 years now. I've worn it to absolute death, and I would snap up this Topshop one in a heartbeat if I didn't already own one. So next up in the colour trends, we have yellow. Now this was an absolutely huge trend this season. Unlike red, which has kind of been a huge thing now for quite a few seasons, yellow in terms of trends is something relatively new. As has been a recurring theme this season, designers were favouring head-to-toe looks, everywhere from Rocher to Jasper Comran. But my favourite look from the bunch has to be by Moschino. So my top designer pick for yellow would be this Moschino belt bag. I love this shearling, obviously the colour's great, and I love belt bags anyway, so it's a bit of a no-brainer for me. There are tons of fab options on the high street too though. An oversized roll neck is a great season appropriate way to inject a little bit of that yellow into your wardrobe. If you're more of a dress kind of gal, I love a slip dress anyway, I find them super flattering, so this one would be a great shout too. You guys know I love my sportswear vibes, so of course I'm obsessed with this little two-piece from Monkey. I'd also layer up a yellow hoodie under double denim. This one from Topshop is a great shout, and it also comes in red too. In a similar kind of vibe, you also can't go wrong with a cropped sweatshirt. I'd again wear it double denim and tons of jewellery, sort of spice it up a little bit. I also love this Adidas bodysuit. I think it'd be a really great way to get a little pop of yellow in there with your layering. You can layer it up underneath slip dresses, jumpsuits, all of that kind of jazz. So it'll keep you warm but also add that little pop of colour too. A super easy way to inject a little yellow into your wardrobe is via a t-shirt. You guys know I love my slogan tees, and these were my favourites that I could find online. I also really love these earrings from ASOS. They're a super fun way to add a little pop of colour into an otherwise simple outfit. Another huge colour trend this season is hot pink. Now we've already seen 80s excess is well and truly back, and hot pink is part and parcel with that, so it comes as no surprise. Still, it was absolutely everywhere this season, with designers splashing hot pink left, right and centre. Take Alexander Wang for example, whose collection was entirely monochrome apart from 3 hot pink looks. My personal fave though again has to be Moschino. To be completely honest, pink is one of those colours that I generally avoid. I find it doesn't really look that great on my skin tone, plus I'm really not a super girly girl at all, that's just really not my style. That being said, hot pink definitely gives me all of those 80s vibes, which you know I'm all about, so I definitely would be more inclined to give hot pink a go than other shades. The high street has tons of hot pink options at the moment. My absolute favourite probably being this Topshop checked mini cowgirl, which is ticking 2 trends in one, which we'll get to a little later. I really like that Topshop checked cowgirl because the hot pink is not the whole thing, it's sort of incorporated into a pattern, so that's something I'd be much more inclined to wear. For me personally though, I prefer it in another colourway it comes in, so I'll show you that in a little bit. Aside from that one, I found a couple of cool jumpers, which is definitely something if I was going to wear hot pink, I'd go for something along those lines. I really like this cardigan from ASOS. I don't think it quite passes for hot pink, but I like it anyway, and I definitely wear that one. And I've also found a coat option if that's something you're interested in. How cool is this top from Boohoo though? It's giving me all of the 80s vibes. I think I'm definitely going to pick this one up. Aside from those, the other way to inject a little bit of hot pink into your wardrobe if you're pink averse like me is via a shoe. There are tons of great shoe options available on the high street at the moment that are all super affordable, and they're a fun way to add a pop of colour into an otherwise neutral outfit. From stiletto styles to more of a chunky heel to a boot. For me personally, I think I'm more averse to sort of head to toe pink looks. That's really not me, but little pops of it I think I can get along with. The next colour trend we have is neons, again giving us all the 80s vibes. Neon was absolutely huge, and a load of big players from Prada to Balmain to Tom Ford to Balenciaga. It's fair to say that neon is a little difficult to wear in real life, but I really like how Sonia Rykiel styled it, pairing a neon piece with a non-neon piece in the same colour palette. I think that works really well. Tons of celebrities have been really loving neon the past few weeks. Kim Kardashian has been a massive fan, wearing it literally non-stop for the past few weeks. Blake Lively's been spotted out in neon, as has Ariana Grande, so that gives us a few different ways of how to style the trend. For me personally, my favourite high-end neon piece would have to be Prada's clutches. Or if you're after something a little more subtle, Balenciaga's card holders are also super cute. I found a few great options from Revolve if you'd like to follow Kim K's lead and inject a little bit of neon into your going out wardrobe. For me personally though, all out head to toe solid neon is not really my kind of thing. Don't think it's something I'd really indulge, but I would do accents of it. I think that can look really cool. A great way to work these into your existing wardrobe would be via a hoodie or a t-shirt. These two from Puma are great examples. I also really like this fluffy jumper from ASOS, which looks like a really good dupe for Balenciagas. I also love this neon windbreaker from Missguided. It's given me all of those 80s sportswear vibes, which you know I'm all about. I also really love how Topshop have worked a little hint of neon into this camo two-piece. I think that one looks super cool too. And the last colour trend we have this season is silver. Silver was absolutely huge last fall, and this season it was still dominating the runways. From coats to dresses to skirts, silver was absolutely everywhere, and plenty of designers were favouring head-to-toe looks, which, as we've seen, is a recurring theme this season. Balmain went all out with it this season though, featuring tons of variations of the shade, from light through dark, and even including some holographic iterations. Holographic silver also came out as a micro trend, as it was featured elsewhere from other designers, including Thieves Marjan. So my favourite silver picks for this season are firstly this Calvin Klein jeans jacket. I love a puffer jacket anyway, but this one is grey under normal light, and then at night time when a light is shone on it, it has reflective technology, which I think is super cool and very different. I like that one. For me, another way I'd get a little bit of silver into my wardrobe, which would be perfect for nights out, is via a skinny. These ones are lovely, but I've also found a super cheap dupe from Boohoo, which are only £8, which is insane. If you're feeling the holographic vibe, this pair from Missguided were the best ones I could find on the high street. And if you're after something a little more daytime appropriate, these paper bag waist ones from ASOS are a really great shout. Aside from a jacket or a trouser, another way I'd wear silver is in a slip dress. I think those look super cool, super 90s, can be dressed up or down really easily. So slip dresses are always the one, and in silver, I'd definitely go there. If those are a little too out there for you, there are a ton of great shoe options, which again are a great way to inject a little bit of that trend into your wardrobe. ASOS do this really cute shoe that's giving me all of the Chanel vibes, plus it's got a super nice heel height, which means it's going to be super comfy. And trainer wise, my favourite trainer ever, the Reebok Club C, also comes in a metallic colourway, so highly recommend that if you're after a metallic trainer. There are also a ton of silver handbags out at the moment, my favourites being this Mulberry one and this Prada one. But if you are after something more of a high street price point, this one from New Look is a really great dupe that won't break the bank. Next up we have the prints of the season, the first of these being animal print. Animal prints were completely inescapable this season, they were absolutely everywhere. Whilst leopard was naturally a popular choice, there was tons of snakeskin, which is my favourite, zebra and tiger too. This season, designers took the trend to the next level by not only favouring head-to-toe looks, as seen at Max Mara and Dolce & Gabbana, but also opting for brightly coloured versions of classic prints. Tom Ford led the way with this, with brightly coloured animal print looks often worn head to toe, and they are also seen at DVF and Zadig & Voltaire. The high street have taken the animal print trend and completely run with it. There is animal print absolutely everywhere at the moment, which is fantastic for us. So starting with the more realistic snake prints, this MAC from All Saints is absolutely delicious. It is a little on the pricey side, but I have found some great high street options too. I'm a mini skirt kind of girl myself, so a snake print mini is a great way to update your wardrobe for this season. Missguided have this really cute option, which is a kind of faux leather, and there's also this cute denim option from ASOS. Mini skirts aside, another way I'd wear snake print is via a trouser, so I found a couple of options from Nasty Gal and Lasula. If you are after something a little more subtle though, I found a couple of great shoe options from Missguided and Mango. If you're after some coloured snakeskin, I'm absolutely obsessed with this Topshop jacket. I've actually ordered it, I can't wait for it to arrive. I think this is a really cool statement piece. But if you're after something in red, these high-waisted trousers from Lasula are also a really great shout. If you're after something in more of a typical leopard print, there are tons of options on the high street. I love this little leopard coward from Nasty Gal. Nasty Gal are absolutely killing it on the leopard front at the moment. They also have shirts and dresses and skirts. And ASOS have a really cool pair of flared leggings if you're after some trousers. I'm also obsessed with mini bags at the moment, and Topshop have this super cute little mini leopard bag, which would be a great update for the new season too. Next we have a few leopard prints, which are not your typical leopard prints, but they're still super easy to wear. These crop flare jeans by ASOS come in a super dark print, so you get that hint of the leopard without being too much. This top from Monkey again would be really great for layering under little slips, little dresses, jumpsuits, things like that. I'm absolutely living for this little weekday coward with that jacket and trousers set. I think this is probably my favourite leopard print I've found so far. I really like how it's a little bit different. If you are fancying a little bit of coloured leopard print, again there are a ton of options on the high street at the moment. I'm loving Misguided's take on yellow leopard print at the moment. This jacket and belt bag are super cool. I'm also really loving these trousers from Daisy Street. And I really like Nasty Gal's take on green leopard in this dress. If leopard and snakeskin are not your thing, there is also some tiger and zebra too. This little tiger coward from Misguided is a really great option. I like that it's something a little different. And I found a couple of great coloured zebra print options too. This one in the yellow from ASOS and this one in the pink from Nasty Gal. Next up for the print trends this season, we have check prints, with this season's check trends falling into two camps. Checks were huge last fall, particularly the heritage style checks, your tweeds, your tartans, etc. on the neutral end of the spectrum. These are still super popular this season, but designers also went one step further by giving them the clueless treatment and offering them in a ton of bold, bright colours too. Designers were going absolutely crazy for brightly coloured checks, using tons of pinks and reds and yellows, the season's key colours, as well as blues too. So I'm a huge check fan myself. I'm really glad that heritage checks are sticking around this season. I really enjoyed wearing them last fall. So my favourite high-end piece for the heritage style check portion of this trend would have to be this MAC from the Golden Goose Deluxe brand. I think this would look fab paired with jeans and boots and a chunky knit underneath. Don't worry though, the high street has tons of affordable options. I'm really loving this MAC from Stradivarius by ASOS. It's giving me all the Aquascutum vibes though with their check print, but I'm here for it. I'm also loving ASOS's heritage check suit, and I'm definitely going to pick up these check dungarees from Stradivarius too. I think that looks super cute with a t-shirt layered underneath for now, and then also switch it up with a roll neck when it gets a little chillier. As far as coloured checks go, there are tons of options on the high street at the moment. My favourite being this little coward from Topshop. You might remember I showed it earlier in hot pink, but for me personally I way prefer it in the yellow, and I'm definitely going to pick that one up too. I also found these yellow check dungarees on ASOS as well. They're part of their Reclaim Vintage line, and I'm definitely going to pick up these ones as well. This is getting very expensive. I also really rate this little coward set from Motel. It's my favourite blue option that I found online. If you are after a statement check coat, this one from Misguided is amazing in the red. I also really love these trousers from Pretty Little Thing, and I'm a huge fan of this dress from Daisy Street as well. And lastly, for the coloured checks, we have this little mini skirt from Topshop, which is giving me all of the Versace vibes. Okay, so moving on, we have our last print trend, which is black-backed florals. Black-backed florals were another huge trend this season, but this one is super easy to wear. They featured heavily on full-length Prairie style dresses at Coach and Michael Kors. Elsewhere, they were the perfect print for 80s style party dresses at Balenciaga and Saint Laurent, with the latter featuring them super heavily and also providing my favourite iterations, using them on long sleeve mini dresses with deep v-necks and deliciously bold shoulders. So I found tons of black-backed florals for you. My favourite full-length high street options would have to be these ones from Nasty Gal. Definitely wear either of these. I think they'd be really great for any winter events, things like that. I'm a huge fan of black-backed florals myself. I have tons of mini dresses with the print on. What I found is when it gets a little chillier at winter time, they work really well with black tights because they look nice and tied in. So top tip there if you haven't heard that one already. So yeah, Misguided have tons of really cute options at the moment. I also really like these two from Nasty Gal. Again, something I definitely wear year round, but particularly they look lovely in winter. If dresses aren't your vibe, then again, Nasty Gal's coming through with a couple of options. We have overalls or a romper if you're so inclined. Or if you were just after a hint of the trend, these shirts from Topshop and Nasty Gal are also great options too. And lastly, we have the key textures of the season, the first of which being patent or high shine. High shine materials are another trend that was absolutely huge last fall. If you can cast your mind way back, there were tons of vinyl trousers everywhere, and the high shine trend is still going strong this season. Outerwear was a popular choice for the high shine treatment, with tons of designers opting for patent cowards as well. I'm particularly loving Adam Salmon's take on the trend with his delicious bright red cowards. Perhaps not the most wearable in the world, but I still think they're absolutely gorgeous. So as far as the patent trend goes on the high street, it might just be me, but I don't think there are quite as many vinyl pieces as they were this time last year. That being said, I still found some gems. This trucker jacket from Calvin Klein jeans, it's absolutely delicious, and I think that look really great paired with jeans and a tee to dress it down a little. Elsewhere, Warehouse and Topshop have really great MAC options in that full-length vinyl if that's something you want to go for. And I also found this Misguided coat for an even more affordable option. Vinyl skirts were another huge trend this time last year, and they're still going strong this season. This one from Misguided is the best one out at the moment. If you're after some vinyl trousers, Misguided also have the best ones of those at the moment. They're killing it in the vinyl department. Both would look really great dressed down with some chunky knitwear and trainers. If all of those are a little too much for you, a great way to add a little bit of high shine into your wardrobe is via a boot. And the high street has tons of amazing options at the moment. Topshop have a couple of great pairs out at the moment, as always. I'm loving both of these. I'm also definitely going to pick up this pair from Nasty Gal. I think they're only around £35, which is an absolute bargain. I also already own these ones from ASOS, and they're super comfy. They've got such a great heel height that you can wear them all day with no problems. And these ones, also from ASOS, are a super cool option in white. And lastly, the belt bag bum bag trend is still going strong, so this one from Nasty Gal is also a really great option, and it's super affordable too. Next up for the texture trends, we have silk. This is another texture popular with designers this fall, providing the perfect antidote to bright, bold colours and loud animal prints. Silk dresses and slips were plentiful this season and beautifully done across the board. Elsewhere, Peter Pilotto and Bottega Veneta made the case for silk pyjama suits, which look an absolute dream to wear. If I was to splurge on one real silk piece this season, it would definitely be Are You Am I silk slips. Honestly, to me, they're literally the perfect dress. They're super pricey, and I don't own one myself yet, but definitely is on the wish list. Elsewhere on the high street, both ASOS and H&M have a couple of real silk offerings that are definitely worth checking out. The prices aren't too unreasonable either. The high street also has a ton of other faux silk options, from faux silk camis to slip dresses. This silver one from ASOS would look fab for sort of evening events, but also I'd definitely wear it in the day too with a roll neck underneath and some trainers or boots. And this long blue one from Nasty Gal would definitely be perfect for any Christmas events and parties over the festive season too. Dresses aside, Nasty Gal have a couple of really cool co-ord options. This striped one is an affordable take on the designer's pyjama suit dressing, and I'm living for this retro tracksuit set. I think this one's super cool too. And the last trend of the season is pleats. Pleats cropped up time and time again, with knee length and longer skirts and dresses being the most popular choice. Styling wise, many designers toughened them up by pairing them with chunky knits and sportswear inspired details, which gave a cool edge to an ordinarily conservative design detail. Again, the high street had tons of pleat options, with ASOS doing this one best. If mini dresses are your thing, I found a couple of really cute options again from ASOS, a couple of floral options and one in a spot print, which were my faves of the bunch. They also had several midi skirts in various different leopard prints, which I'm totally here for. Again, it's a super easy way to kill two trends with one stone. I'd pair them with a cute slogan tee or a chunky knit and boots, again like on the catwalks, to toughen them up and just give that a little bit of a cool edge. I also love this sporty colour block one from ASOS, again gives it more of a sporty edge, and this metallic one from Nasty Gal is a real statement piece. Pleats don't just need to be confined to midi dresses or longer. For me personally, I've said before, I love my mini skirts, so I found a couple of super cute mini options too. Cool, so that wraps up my trend guide to this season. I really hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. What are your favourite or least favourite trends this season? I personally love 80s vibes, so I can't wait to add some more cool earrings to my collection. I'm also super here for snake skin. I've always got time for silk and patent, and I'm also really here for the checks trend too. I'm loving the heritage checks. I found some really cool pieces that I can't wait to pick up, and I also really love the bold, bright, colourful options as well. The only problem with putting together this video is I've fallen in love with so many pieces. It's going to be so difficult to decide which ones to go for. Yes, I'm aware, first world problems, but the struggle is real. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you found this helpful and you like some of my picks. Let me know down below if there's any that have taken your fancy. Remember to let me know which are your favourite and least favourite trends, and remember to subscribe before you leave. Thanks so much for watching again, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye!